Good evening to all our carp crazy anglers out there. Today we're visiting JEAN-PIERRE at South African Expeditions headquarters in Krugersdorp North. We're here to speak to him about how to roll that perfect boilie, how to flavor it correctly, and how to take it out on the field to catch that monster carp. This is How To, the show you would want to watch.
Hi everybody, my name is Potgieter and I'm here tonight to show you how to roll that perfect boilie. Due to popular demand, this would be our first show and we will cover all kinds of aspects, the right base mix, the right flavors and the right venues. So I believe after tonight you would be a master in boilie rolling. So let's move over to the kitchen and let us show you how to. Welcome to our How To kitchen. First of all, you would need the correct utensils to make the perfect boilie. It is important that you are familiar with all the stuff available on the market. All types of boilie tables and boilie guns. You can get the boilie table like this at most of the leading fishing stores in South Africa. This boilie tables comes in different sizes. 8mm, 14mm, 16, 18, 20, 24 and even up to a big 30mm boilie. This is determined by the size of holes that you find on the boilie table. As you can see here, we've got a 16mm table for the use of tonight. And also combined with this, we want an 18mm. Make a variety of boilie sizes. The second most important thing is your boilie gun. You can buy this boilie gun at any hardware shop for a good price. The nozzle size would be the size of the boilie that you want to roll. For example, this is a 16mm boilie gun and it fits perfectly into your 16mm table holes. Next we get to the ingredients. First make sure you have 2 big buckets ready. One would be for your dry base mix and one will be to prepare your base mix in. Next step, you would need around 6 to 12 eggs, only medium size. Then we get to the base mix. There's a lot of theories on base mix, but all you really need is enough vitamins and proteins. The fish can only take in as many vitamins per day as possible. The rest will only go to waste. So what we have today is a basic base mix for you. You would need about 1 kilogram of semolina. For our overseas viewers, this is more or less the same as potato flour. You will need 1 kilogram of maize meal, or in South Africa we call this mielie meal. You will also need 1 kilogram of soya flour and 1 kilogram of matabella super. Next up, the most important thing about your boilie would be the flavor. You have to decide what flavor you're going to use and then determine how much you want to use. For example, in the summer months it's better to make a bit stronger flavor than in the winter months. For today we've got a few flavors in store. We got a nice sweet cream with a Scopex. This is basically a buttercream mix. And we also have the Nutella, nuts and chocolate, combined with a peanut butter flavor. The next process will start by breaking the eggs and showing you how to make that perfect boilie. Hi guys, let's start off with your first tip for rolling boilies. Make sure your wife isn't near home, because it might happen to you that has just happened to our South African Expeditions team and you get chased to the outside kitchen. So we will continue here on rolling boilies. First we will start off with the eggs. Quite simple, take the eggs into your empty container and break them. Don't mind the shells, it's also a good nutrition with some protein in it. After all the eggs is done, we like to take eggshells. On a 12 egg mix, I like to use 4 to 5 eggshells. What you basically do with this, just crush them and get them in as little pieces as possible. This is actually a known fact that the shell of an egg contains the most protein. If you have a closer look here, you can see that this is really fine. After it's crushed, just add this to your eggs. Make sure you get all of them in there. This is one of the most important stuff in the world. This is how it will look after all the crushed eggshells are in. Like we said earlier, we're going to make a hazelnut and peanut butter flavor boilie. You can basically measure this with your eye. Depends on your personal choice how much flavor you would like. Just add a few spoons of peanut butter. And with that, a few spoons of hazelnut. It is important to make sure that you mix these flavors through your eggs and get this well mixed up.
And you know what? This stuff is actually very nice to eat as well.
After you finish mixing your flavor, this is what it should look like. Please be sure to rather use a normal fork than a whisk. You do not want air into your mixture. When you get professional with boilie mixing, you can go over to one of these. Get yourself an industrial mixer. Now we're going to go over to the dry mix preparation. First, take a cup of about 250 milliliters. You will need 2 cups of semolina. Two cups of your maize meal, or as we call it, mielie meal. One cup of your super matabala. One cup of your milk powder. And lastly, 1 cup soya flour. After all your dry mixes are together in your bucket, this is where it starts to get dirty. Take your hands and make sure you mix all this together. It must be properly mixed. Make sure this is a smooth mixture. Now we will start to add the dry mix with the egg mix. It is important not to add all the dry mix at the same time. Go along with the flow, as we call it. I will first add about 2 handfuls and mix it with my hand. Try and get all the clots out of your mix. Also, a wise tip is to make sure your hands are clean. Get all the smoke out, all the day work, and all the other smells that fish won't like. Like you can see, this is still far from ready, but no clots. So I'll add a bit more of my dry mix. This texture is almost done. Just a few more adds of your dry mix and this will be ready to make those boilies. If you run out of dry mix, just repeat the mixture over and over until you have enough. As you get your dough to a more firm texture, you can work with it on your platform. That just comforts your job, makes it easier for you. After your mix is finished, it should be a clay-like texture. This is what we are working to. Not that soft and not sticky to your fingers. If you feel that your mix is too dry, don't put it inside water. Just wet the palm of your hands and go through your whole mixture. This will also ensure that it doesn't stick to your hands. After your dough is ready, it is time for the rolling and boiling process. What you will need to get ready for this is get a pot on the oven with some boiling water. Get yourself an old blanket or any type of material that won't damage your cupboard, and yourself a little fan to cool off your boilies. You will start by putting your table in a position where you want to use it. What I like to do is take some press stick. This will help it to stick against your table. Next up, you can take your boilie gun, open it at the back, and take off a piece of your dough and form it into a fixed sausage-like shape. This is more or less what it will look like. Just fit that in there. Put your gun back on together. The next step is important. Do not press out more than 2 sausages at a time on your table. The boilies might get stuck to each other and that won't work. Just put your dough right across your table. Give it enough space between the 2 sausages. Next, you'll put on the top of the table and press down to make sure you've cut every boilie to perfection. This is where it gets really exciting. Within the next few seconds, you would have your own homemade boilies that is better than any quality you will ever buy. While we push down on the table, start rolling it, not too fast. After about 15 to 20 times, just have to lift up the lid, and there you've got it. Own homemade boilies. After you've done all of this dough here and put them through the tables, you can put them into the cooker. But for now, we will let them lay here and dry out while we make the little friends.